Hey you guys, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, then welcome back. My name's Jeff. We are the Animal Donut family. Today I want to tell you about a stock I just invested $2,000 in. Just to let you know, 2,000 bucks is a lot of money to me. Okay, I don't just throw money into the market for no reason. I had to spend a lot of time earning this money, and I'm really thoughtful about where I put it because I hate to lose money, and I want to make sure that over the next few years, this investment has a chance to double and maybe triple or quadruple. I am looking for investments that are going to increase in value faster than the S&P 500, because if that's what I wanted, I'd invest in VOO. If I wanted to invest in the total stock market, I would choose VTI. I already own those ETFs. I like them. But I believe that every investor has an opportunity to take a chance to learn as much as they can and to potentially beat the return of the overall stock market. This is not investment advice. Anything can happen in stock markets. Today, I invested $2,000 into Aspen Aerogels. I bought about 68 shares of this company in the $29 range. And let me tell you what it is about this company that really stands out to me. I don't get lost in all of the details of financial information or charts, things like that are available to everybody, because I believe that if you're using the same data as everyone else, your results are going to be pretty much the same. Because everybody's sharing this info, you don't really have an edge there. What I decided to do earlier this year was I wanted to understand Aspen Aerogels. I wanted to understand their cryogel product, which is really useful. It's being purchased in large amounts by electric vehicle manufacturers. It provides a fire barrier between the battery compartment and then the passenger compartment. I wanted to get a piece just as a sample so I could see what it looks like, and also share it with friends of mine who are in industries that I thought might benefit from this material, because hey, I already bought some shares back in January. I'm thinking of buying more. I asked them if I could buy some samples from them, which they could then ship to me. I'd pay for the shipping, whatever. And then I'd have something on hand and I could actually see it, touch it, show it to people. And so I called and I asked them, is this something that I can get? They said, we provide samples, but there's a problem with the samples, which is we just opened up a new factory. And the factory is making really high quality material, this Aspen Aerogels cryogel. And the samples that this is able to create are much higher quality than even the ones we used to use. So what we're going to do is be making samples and cutting them up. Problem is, we have so many new orders from actual customers that we can't make the samples a priority right now. So that was a key to me that things are going well for Aspen Aerogels. I actually did get the phone number of the person there. He welcomed me to call, and we wound up talking for a little while. Just so he could explain to me when I could expect getting some samples. What I want to tell you now is a few details about Aspen Aerogels that gave me confidence to invest today in this stock. Now, this is the Aspen Aerogels first quarter report. It's online. You can just download this from their website. So this was released May 1st, so about a month ago. Aspen Aerogels reports first quarter 2024 financial highlights, and $94.5 million in company revenue drove 37% gross profit margins and $12.9 million of earnings. So what we see here is that this company is doing well. It's just a $2 billion company, but they got $94.5 million. And it says here, raising 2024 baseline adjusted EBITDA outlook by 83%. So just let me say that again. They're raising their 2024, this year's, adjusted earnings outlook by 83%. So that confirms what I found out when I called asking about samples, which is we've got so many customer requests for materials that we can't get you samples right now. We're sorry about that. But that is backed up by the fact that they're estimating that their earnings are going to increase by 83%. And they're also expecting positive net income for 2024. So it says here, Northborough, Mass, May 1st, 2024, Aspen Aerogels today announced financial results. Total revenue for the first quarter was $94.5 million compared to $45.6 million in the first quarter of 2023. So this year they have more than doubled the $45.6 million from last quarter. Net loss was $1.8 million compared to a net loss of $16.8 million for the first quarter of last year. So they had a $16.8 million loss in the first quarter last year, and that has decreased to just 1.8. And the net loss per share was 2 cents compared to a net loss per share of 24 cents in the first quarter of 23. So whatever their expenses or whatever their costs were, and it could be, I don't know all the details here, but maybe building this new factory that they had to create, that may have been an additional expense to the company, which was a big expense in 2023, but now in 2024, that expense may be out of the way. So Wall Street reacted favorably to the fact that their loss this quarter, in the first quarter, was much less than it was just a year ago. The main thing that I noticed here was from that $94.5 million of revenue, which is up 12% quarter over quarter and 107% year over year, thermal barriers, that's the barrier between the battery compartment and the passenger compartment, earned $65.4 million in revenue, which is up 23% quarter over quarter and 459% year over year. So just say that to yourself again. Up 459% year over year. This is not stock price jumping around increases. This is revenue increase, okay? And there's a big difference. These are business improvements, and these are the kinds of things that matter to me as an investment when a company is improving its earnings, because stock prices can bounce all over the place. And we've seen a lot of stocks that are way out ahead relative to the earnings growth of a company. But this company has earnings growth which are 459% year over year. So the thermal barriers were $65.4 million. Energy industrial is $29.1 million. So the thermal barrier part of their business got them $65.4 million. Their energy industrial was less than half that at $29.1 million. And what's interesting is back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, all their business was energy industrial. That was everything. So this new section, thermal barriers for electric vehicles, they are now double what industrial was. So you can see here that their cryogel product for EVs is really taking off. Now, whether this will continue over the next few years, I don't know. I think this is linked to some extent to the success of electric vehicle adoption. I think the fact that they're raising their 2024 baseline adjusted EBITDA outlook by 83% suggests that they can look at their order book and say, you know what? Demand is strong for our cryogel insulation. So I think that they can sort of see that at least this year things are looking good for EV sales or wherever their demand is. But I don't know for sure what the future looks like for electric vehicles, and I don't think anybody does. I do think that given what I can see now about demand for this product, there has to be a little bit of faith that this will continue on in 2025, 2026, and beyond. That's a big question mark. I don't think anyone can say for sure. I want to share with you one quote by Don Young. He's the CEO of the company. He said, "We continue to execute the transition of our energy industrial products to our external manufacturing facility." So they built a new facility, I believe it's in Georgia, and dedicate our manufacturing plant in East Providence to the production of aerogel for EV thermal barriers. So what they're doing is they're moving their industrial production over to a new facility so that they can use their East Providence, Rhode Island exclusively for EV thermal barriers. We believe the Q1 results further demonstrate that we have the capability with existing assets and supply arrangements to deliver $650 million of annual revenue with at least 35% gross margins and 25% adjusted EBITDA margins. And that's Don Young, Aspen's president and CEO. He said, "We remain deeply engaged with a growing list of automotive OEMs and battery cell manufacturers and have strong conviction that we are providing a unique solution to a very challenging problem. We remain focused on scaling the 5 OEM awards that we have in hand alongside maximizing our energy industrial business." So this is a small cap company, just over $2 billion market cap. They've got a large amount of sales going to their energy industrial segment, but they've doubled the amount of sales for their EV thermal barrier sales. So I see this as a dynamic company. There may be things that I'm missing. I do not claim to know everything about Aspen Aerogels or the future of the EV industry, but I think this is a good point of departure, at least for learning. I plan to do a lot more research in the upcoming months as I continue to build my positions in the 10 semiconductor stocks in my portfolio. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. Again, anything can happen in markets. Use this to learn, but don't consider anything here that I've shared with you to be investment advice. I'm so glad you watched this. Please leave me a comment. Do you invest in Aspen Aerogels, or is anything about this company interesting to you? Always love to hear from you guys because it really completes the loop in terms of making a video like this and putting it on YouTube. I just love to hear back from people like you who are watching this and maybe have some thoughts or some ideas about Aspen Aerogels. Also, based on what I've learned, there aren't many direct competitors to Aspen Aerogels. There are other material sciences companies that make insulation and that make other things that are ancillary or somewhat related to what Aspen Aerogels is making, but I haven't seen any companies that make such a specific product as a thin microgel insulation material that can be used in electric vehicles. So if you know of any competitors to Aspen Aerogels or have any ideas about this, let me know in the comment section. I always love to hear your ideas and opinions, and it always adds to kind of an interesting dialogue. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.